Today, Petra is going to try and use a power tool. It's a new power tool to her. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry I'm wearing a baseball cap. I know they look stupid on me. But she's going to wear a power tool, or use a power tool for the first time.
In my life.
Oh, I didn't realize it was in your whole life.
I have never used it in my whole life.
Oh, yeah, this power tool. Okay, so...
No, I mean...
No power tools?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Wow. Okay. So this is a powered chisel. So it's this right here, put that there. It's very easy to use. Everything's all set up. You don't have to do any controls or anything like this. All you have to do is pull the trigger and starts doing that.
Okay. Let me try it.
Simple.
Okay. I think I've got it.
Okay, now, come on. Well, before you start working, I would highly recommend, because you're going to be working on the floor, I would highly recommend knee pads.
Okay, 1 second.
They're one size fit all, so it shouldn't be a problem. Well, yeah.
Well, are you sure about that?
They are considered one size fits all, yes.
Okay.
For men, probably, because it's upside down.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Czech Republic. And it'll get loud.
Okay.
So I highly recommend these. Other way.
The other, oh. Like this?
Inside, one says R, one says L. Inside. There you go. Okay. They're just noise canceling. You should be able to still hear me.
I cannot hear anything.
They're noise canceling.
Well, but now I cannot hear your instructions.
I understand. So take them off for a second. So what you're going to do, here we go. This is the tool you're using. We're going to come over
Keep an
here.
eye on Natalie, though.
Yeah. It's very simple, today's project for you, which is remove these tiles off this floor. So, honey, it's going to take 1 minute here. So all you have to do is take this, pull the trigger, and then push.
Okay.
That's it. Now you see why. Do you want dust mask? Do you want a dust mask? Do you want a dust mask? Oh. Hello. Hi. Not me, Mama.
What's going on, man?
Oh, babe.
Oh.
What's up? Okay, that's as much work as we got out of you.
Can try again. Give her a moment to adjust.
She could be anywhere. I can't find her at all. Oh, there she is. Where could Natalie be? I haven't seen Natalie in a very long time. Has anybody seen Natalie? Oh, Natalie!
Ball.
Ball.
Balonek.
Ball. Yay! Yes. No. Where could Natalie be? I can't find Natalie anywhere. There she is. Hey, good job. Good job. For you, it looks like she turned to you.
Wow.
How did she catch? Yeah. Oop. Oop. See? Good job. Keep your eye on the wall. Where could Natalie be? I can't find Natalie anywhere. Oh, here she is! I found you. Where could Natalie be? I see you. Where could Natalie be? Today, well, taking it back a step, my wife and I are having discussions about what and how to paint the interior walls of the house. I came up with the idea of doing Limewash, which I think is a very interesting, unique characteristics. Plus we have walls that need to be breathable. And she wants to use, traditional acrylic home paint. So what I proposed was I'll try both and put them on a wall, and then we'll sort of take a look at them, because I've never actually used Limewash. I've seen Limewash, but I've never used it myself. I might hate it, and I might hate the results on our wall. But part of the process of doing anything creative, especially something like home decor, is try it. Try something once and you might go, yes, I absolutely love this. This is amazing. The technique's fabulous. I like doing this, whatever. Or I hate this. I never want to do this again. And so you never do it again. But you will never know that until you do it. So I'm going to do it. I've never done this before. So let's see what happens. I painted like this before, sort of in the style of, and similar techniques, but not particularly Limewash. So here's my amazing mixing table. High tech, very important. So I bought this brand, Epodex, their Limewash, their Limewash Epodex. Not necessarily because they're the best or anything like that, but they have the most, the price is good, and they're the most readily available here, which is kind of an important characteristic that not a lot of people think about. Access to a resource, especially in this day and age, especially with all the stuff going on in the world, and the madness. So let's get right into it and start the mixing. Because I have to take, in this case, we're in the EU, so liters, so 4 liters, which is 1 gallon of water, and mix it with this lime. They say to use a whisk, and I will,
though I'm not certain that that's necessary. I mean, I understand for combining it's great, but it also leaves the potential for some things around the corners that I don't like. I'm always a fan of building up. Basically don't dump it all in at one time. So dilute it down as you sort of mix it, combine it slowly is sort of the basic idea here. So, still not even halfway through the lime wash yet. As I said, just sort of blending slowly. From what I understand about this process, basically, it doesn't really blend 100%, and that basically you should remix frequently because the lime wash the lime will sit at the bottom. That was bad. Will sit at the bottom, and so you have to just keep remixing frequently while using it. So much like paint, if you like paint you buy at the hardware store, if you mix it up one day, 3 or 4 days later, it'll settle out, and so you should remix it again. So this just happens faster. It separates out faster. I'm sure there's a scientific term for that. I love it how I'm doing this how-to. I'm not actually doing a how-to. I'm just showing you how I'm doing it. As I said, I've never done it before, so I'm basing it off of multiple YouTube videos as well as Epodex's video they have on their website, and 30 years of experience as an artist working with materials like this. So between all of those things, I feel confident. And the instructions are insanely simple. They're literally 5 steps for the whole thing, and that includes the process of painting. So it's not really rocket science here. And for me, since I'm doing this probably over the course of a couple days, obviously I used a container that's resealable so that I can just put it away for the night and come back to it the next day and just remix it up, and it should be ready to go again. Because I'm certainly not, well, I hope I'm not going to be using all of this. This is a lot, I feel like. And I could be wrong. It could be, maybe it's not much. The question that I have about this is basically how many coats does it take to get the way you want it to look? Because I've seen it where people talk about like doing 1 coat, doing 2 coats, doing 3, 4 coats, 5 coats, and so the question is sort of how many coats will it take to get it the way you want it? Now, they then have a separate pigment that you mix in for your color, and this is a color that my wife and I chose that we would potentially be interested in using as our interior color in this room. My wife, of course, is very into beige and neutrals and all this, as is common. I'm fine with beige as long as there's some contrasting things. So we came to a happy medium, we'll call it, with this particular color. I think it's a little off beige, we'll call it. It's got a little something to it, but not a lot. And then I'm just going to do a first coat today. So I'm going to paint half this wall with the wash, and then I'll do the other half with your more traditional, like big box store, acrylic home paints, and that way we can have a nice side-by-side comparison. And as I've said, never worked with this material before, so let's see what happens. Supposedly you just do it in X's, and as you build layers, it becomes more consistent, maybe we'll call it. So the question is like, how consistent do you want it to be? So if you want it very consistent, you can
do like a half a dozen layers. If you want it just still very blotchy, what they call cloudy, then you can do less layers. So I'm interested to see how this works. I'm going to call that my half of the room. Yes, I'm not doing perfect X's, I know. I'm over it. But to me, it's just sort of consistently changing directions, so you're not doing all one direction or not one direction, I think is probably the more important thing than actual X's. One of the things that I like about the idea, or two things that I like about the idea of Limewash. One, the breathability. So it doesn't seal your walls. This is a very concrete-y brick house, and so the idea of sealing in all that moisture, I do not think that's to our best interest. So the idea of making it so that it's still breathable, I quite like that idea. I think it will help us in the future for sure, because it'll make it so we potentially have basically less rot / mold in the walls. And then secondly is the low off-gassing, or no off-gassing, for the health of our daughter. My health, least of my concerns. Health of my daughter, great concern. As you all have noticed in previous videos where I will go up on rooftops and do stupid things on ladders. My health, not such a concern. It should be probably more of a concern, but it's not. All right, let's see. Because as I've said, they say to mix it frequently. So let's see just how frequently is. There it is. So let's mix it up again, just to see sort of how frequently I really need to mix it. Not that I can see any visual difference between, 5 minutes ago. If it's even 5 minutes ago, I don't know. I'm expecting to have to do 3 coats probably. I expect that I will not like second coat. I think it's still going to look sort of too like a bad paint job. It's going to look too blotchy, too irregular. This is far too irregular, but as I said, I have a feeling 3 coats is probably going to be the thing that I'm going to go like, yeah, that's beautiful. The other thing that attracts me very much to this technique is when I do painting, this is actually a very similar process to the way I paint. Layers and doing sort of this cross-hatching painting style. Like this is actually the same brush stroke movements that I do in my own personal artwork. So this is basically like me making a big piece of art. Whew. Okay, that looks horrible on coat 1. Probably because I didn't do the primer for this coat, would be my guess. Because I'm still seeing things through it. Coat number 1. Color's fine. Don't mind the color, but the that process. 1 coat is definitely not enough. It's quite unattractive at this point, but I believe times will change with 2, maybe 3 coats. Do you want to be on camera? What do you have? Papu.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Satepo. Cici. Malá, udělej tako. Malá. Pipi.
Today we got some news. And that news is that according to our neighbor who has done the research and talked to the right people, there are either 3 or 4, we're not sure which, different organizations, municipalities, whatever, that have to sign off to allow us to hook up our water and sewer to the infrastructure. Everybody except one signed off and said, sure, no problem. Yeah, yes, sign off, agreed. One of them didn't agree, and that was the people who did the asphalt for the road. And from what we understand, the reason for that is because, sorry for Natalie in the background. The reason for that is they just re-asphalted the road in 2024, and the company who did it had a 3-year warranty on it. That 3-year warranty expires December 5th, 2027, and they refuse to do any construction work or damage basically to the road until that time. Therefore, neither us nor our neighbors can connect our water or sewer to the infrastructure. And now we have to deal with this.
And we don't know what to do. Well, actually,
You haven't come up with anything?
I actually consulted ChatGPT.
Okay, what did ChatGPT say?
They helped me to compose an email or some sort of official letter. They said it needs to be done officially, so probably a letter better, but maybe email will work. And basically, you explain the situation to them and ask if there's like any conditions that could apply, that we would be able to do it if we meet those conditions.
Well, see, my position is like, it was unknown when we bought the property to us. And it's a pre-existing thing that was probably approved back in 2023, then the work was done in 2024. So there was sort of no way for us to have known this.
And I believe that even the seller didn't know it.
I don't think anybody well, because our neighbors also didn't know this. So and they're doing it as a development project.
No,
so
I've got a job.
yeah, So anyways, so they're doing it as a developmental project. They're building a house to sell. So I don't had they known that and because it's going to throw off their construction schedule, then they probably wouldn't have bought it either. So that being said, we need to come up with a plan B if it doesn't work. It's great. We absolutely should approach the company and ask them to do it. I spoke to our lawyers, and our lawyers basically said, try to approach them with a proposal saying, we would be happy to pay to have it done, dug up and redone by the same company that did it before, so therefore theoretically not breaking the warranty because it's the same company doing the work. So that's at least an offer that we can sort of put in there to try to circumvent the warranty concern.
Yeah, we can try.
Now, she said also, though, that it's probable that will not work because if we then pay for this new construction that breaks the old warranty on this part of the street, the new warranty will be our warranty, not the municipality's warranty. And so the municipality theoretically would not agree to lose their warranty and then we get a warranty because we pay for this project. So we'd have to come up with some wording that also says we will give the warranty we get from it to the municipality as well so that they still have their confidence.
I believe this is completely crazy, but like how can...
I think all of this is crazy. The fact that there's a warranty on a road and making it so that tax-paying citizens can't get access to water, I find crazy.
Indeed, I do as well.
And sewage, but water is one of those like basic human right things that I'm like, they have to give us access to water.
Well, we technically have access to water.
I know that, but our neighbors don't. So,
That's true.
So they need it, and so therefore we could do it. So that's what you've come up with, yes?
Yes, first approach the company or the I don't know if it's a company. It's
Yeah,
just
the road people.
The road people, and just ask them if there's any exceptions that we could apply for.
Great.
And other than that, I don't know. We can clean the water, and with the sewage, I have no idea.
Okay, I have a backup plan for sewer and water. So water, I could install a reverse osmosis system, which is basically a filtration system on the well.
That's what I was thinking. Clean
So we have the water. And then for the sewer, we can actually either rent or buy a above ground septic tank.
Oh, good. I was fearing you were gonna say some dry toilet, like a toy type of thing.
That wouldn't help us, though. So
Wouldn't?
septic
Okay,
tank.
good.
So rent or buy a septic tank, above ground one, so we don't have to dig into the ground. We don't have to run stuff too much. So that's an option. It's a horrible option, but it would be a temporary option because it really would only be until December 2027, which is not true because they won't do that construction in the dead of winter. So we would have to wait until spring anyways. Yes. Sorry, precious. Nah.
Her favorite word.
Nah. So that's where we are today. And now we just have a whole new set of bureaucratic things to address and deal with.
Yeah, lots of stress and probably lots of money too.
Yeah, probably. But well, probably not lots of money, but unexpected bills.
Well, the headache is the worst part of it.
Yeah, but also the unexpected nature of it. Like everything else that's happened so far, I've kind of expected something like it. This is completely out of the blue. Never would have expected this.